I'm here to introduce our next guest on behalf of the Arbonne Charitable Foundation. Since the Charitable Foundation's launch at GTC in 2012, 4.2 million has been raised globally, and in 2016, $105,000 in Australia alone. And that's due to the amazing efforts and support from you and your team's fundraising efforts. So the Foundation's mission is to provide support for programs and opportunities that promote the development of confidence and self-esteem in teenage girls and boys, and it has impacted over 155,000 teens, which in turn creates a ripple event in their families and communities. As consultants, we've been given this opportunity to be able to contribute to the Foundation by either hosting or becoming involved in a fundraising event, or by actually sponsoring a grant directly to an organisation. It's a great privilege that we've been given by Arbonne and the Foundation to be able to contribute and serve others, not only in our Arbonne businesses, but also by the Foundation's contributions to many Australian-based charities. Our communities need us to make a difference, and it is the heart and spirit of our consultants that make this happen. So in order for an organisation to receive a grant, two basic requirements need to be met. Firstly, the organisation has to be aligned with the Arbonne Charitable Foundation's mission, including serving teens 12 to 17 years. And the request for the grant must come from an Arbonne employee or an independent consultant endorsed by an RVP or above. About a year ago, one of my consultants requested a grant from the Charitable Foundation for a charity that is in complete alignment with the Foundation's mission. So I'm really thrilled to introduce to you today Judy Tanner from the Smith family. Judy's also a district manager with Arbonne. She's a very busy mother of 3 teenage children, works full-time for the Smith family, does her Arbonne business. She's a generous and willing volunteer at school and community events, and is incredibly generous colleague in her Arbonne community. Judy sees firsthand the need of teenagers in Australia and the impact we can have by supporting charities such as the Smith family. And this morning, Judy is going to show us what a difference these grants make in somebody's life. Firstly, we're going to be watching a short video about a student that has benefited from the Smith family support, and then we'll hear directly from Judy.
This campaign is all about shining a light, really, on those 1 out of every 10 kids not getting a proper education. What we want to do by sharing these incredible stories is really bring attention to it. I look at someone like Jess, who all of her life had to care for her sick mother, and somehow turns this tragedy into a triumph. What an amazing story.
My name is Jess and I'm 24 years old. When I was about 5 years old, I started to realise that Mum wasn't well. It was things like shopping and cooking and cleaning that Mum really needed a hand with, and there were times when it was overwhelming. My mum has been my role model throughout my entire childhood. She's just the most amazing person I know, really. She's a survivor. It's always been mostly just me and Mum. When I was about 5 years old, I started to realise that Mum wasn't well. Mum was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and that meant she wasn't able to keep working.
I was taking on a few more responsibilities around the house.
We moved to the city when I was about 11 years old so that I could go to a better school.
It was very different financially, coming from a small outback town.
I started working to help pull in some extra money for Mum. We moved probably about 3 or 4 times. And there was a time, in fact, we were living out of a car. It was overwhelming. It was that time that Mum found the Smith family.
The help that the Smith family have given me has helped me get through my studies, not only because I could afford what I needed to be able to study, but also they've given me confidence to go ahead with my studies even when I wasn't entirely confident in myself.
Throughout my entire childhood, my mum has been my role model. It really motivated me to become a doctor and get into some research, especially on the side of MS. I'm now 24 and I'll be working as a doctor when I am 27. I can't wait.
Angela, thank you so much for that kind introduction. You know, I've seen that clip at least 10 times, and it gets me every single time right here, because I think about the deep fear, probably indescribable fear, that little girl must have felt trying to get to sleep in a car on a rainy night, huddled next to a mother that she adored so much. So how does that little girl get from sleeping in a car to medical school? That's exactly what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm here to invite you on a journey for us to harness all the love and wisdom and compassion in this room and deliver it directly to the hearts and minds of some of the most vulnerable members of our community. And that's teens living in disadvantage. My name is Judy Tanna. I'm proud to be a district manager with Arbonne, and I'm also proud to be the National Major Gift Manager for the Smith family. I'm incredibly privileged to work for one of the most trusted charities in Australia, but the fact is, not many people understand exactly what it is that we do. The Smith family is the largest national children's charity, giving children a hand up, not a hand out. And we help young Australians in need. There are 1.1 million children living under the poverty line in Australia today. It's a little known fact. It doesn't sell newspapers or magazines or advertising space. But it is real and it is relentless, and it will impact the Australia that our children inherit. So how do we help these kids? At the Smith family, what we do is we welcome them into our family. And with a program called Learning for Life, we have a three-pronged approach. One is financial support so that they can buy what they need to be successful at school. Secondly, academic support with learning clubs and tutors and mentors to help them find their way. And third, emotional support, and that is where Arbonne comes in. Courtney James and her team at the Arbonne Charitable Foundation recognized that the work we're doing is in exact alignment with the values of the Arbonne Charitable Foundation. Arbonne is an organization that gets results, and part of the reason I wanted to show you this video this morning was for you to understand and appreciate that the Smith family is also based on results. So we've shared one story this morning, and I'm also incredibly proud to say that we have a student speaker who has very bravely and generously decided to join us this morning. The gorgeous Adrian Hawley and his girlfriend Amy. Come on up.
My My name is Adrian Holly, and I'm here to talk to you about myself and how the Arbonne Charitable Foundation and the Smith family and their Learning for Life program have helped me and my family through the struggles and obstacles I've faced growing up. To start off, I would like to say thank you for you all to turning up to this event and for the opportunity for me to share my story. I live at home with my 17-year-old brother, who is currently working full-time doing air conditioning and refrigeration during this hot summer. My mum studies part-time at the Richmond TAFE, learning about animal behaviour. It has been difficult for her to adjust to this new learning environment, as other students are young as 23, and my mum is currently 54. My mum is a single parent. 8 years ago, my father passed away in a car accident on New Year's Eve. This not only shocked my brother and I, who were 11 and 10 at the time, but it was also my mum's true love. After his death, my mum became depressed, which led to both mental and physical problems. This changed my mum, but also took a toll on my brother and I. We barely attended school, as we were too busy looking after my mum, as well as dealing with doctors and counsellors. At the time, we did not fully appreciate what was going on and on our future, and that would impact us. When I started high school, I was a loner. I was scared to attend school. I got teased about my dad's passing. Other students would make truck and car noises as they came near me. This would make me never want to attend school again. After year 8, I found a new bunch of friends who took me in. I'm still grateful to spend my time with them, and sometimes I wish they had found me earlier. Mum would do her best to feed Chris and I with the little money she had. She never drank or smoked, and she always put us kids first. She would buy groceries when she could overcome her anxiety to leave the house, but otherwise, my brother and I would have to spend money and fend for ourselves. At the age of 14, I had to get a job to pay for household bills. At the time, I thought this was a normal thing to do. These circumstances made me independent, and as soon as I learned only to rely on myself. I attended school nearly every day, and I bought my own food and clothing, and I still managed to be happy. I then realised that I was not in the right place to achieve my dreams. I decided to leave my old school of Cambridge Park High School, and I met the principal of Emu Plains and explained my situation. I said I was eager to learn and I would do anything in my power to get there. He accepted my application, and that following year I attended Emu Plains High School. I chose the school because they offered engineering and physics. They're the two most hardest subjects in the HSC, but I did this to challenge myself. My 2 final years of high school in the HSC were a real struggle. The studying plus working almost every night at Pizza Hut were very exhausting. I would also dropped off my mum off at work placement and TAFE 3 to 4 days a week, and this would consist of waking up at 6 o'clock every morning. And on top of that, I had assignments due every week. Due to the lack of time between taking care of my mum, household chores, work, I struggled to hand my assignments in on time. Then 3 months prior to my HSC, I was involved at a work-related injury, which caused 2 slip discs in my lower back. The owners of this business refused to pay for my healthcare, and I could not work. I was in a great deal of pain, I couldn't study, and I found it difficult to drive or even sleep. The doctor also diagnosed me with depression. After months without pay, my family was struggling to survive. I hated watching my family suffer, so instead I did some research and organised some gardening and landscaping work while starting my own little business called Hire a Holly. Thank you. Even though I was in a great deal of pain, I would not give up. The Smith family approached us offering assistance, and this is when things really changed. They provided me with the university scholarship and financial assistance so that my little brother could buy the things he needed for school. It was like they wrapped their arms and grabbed my family and do as much as they could to help us. Our Learning for Life worker, Jessica Barlow, helped me with everything that I needed to get into university. It was my dream to be the first person in my family to do so, and I will be ever so thankful for Jessica for that. Despite the struggles I went through during the HSC, it did not stop me in succeeding in my exams. My girlfriend Amy Carlin, who is here with me today, is a high achiever and ending up to being dux of the school and top 5 out of the 6 subjects. She gave me motivation and assistance needed to achieve my goal in the university. I can now say at the age of 19, I didn't have the easiest nor the hardest childhood, but I do appreciate a helping hand. The financial and emotional assistance the Smith family has provided us, I could never be so thankful for that. So I'd like to tell you how much it meant to me and my family. I don't like to think about where I would be or have ended up without their help, and people like you from the Airborne Charitable Foundation and the Smith family. I am now enrolled to the Western Sydney University studying a Bachelor of Construction Management, which is the course I was hoping for. I've applied for a part-time job as a civil engineer, and I no longer worry about money, as I see it as just another obstacle to overcome and will not stop me in succeeding. Money is necessary for everyday life, but not to be happy. A famous quote I live by, and I would like to share this with you all. A day without laughter or smiling is a day wasted. Thank you.
No, I'm so glad it's okay to cry at Arbonne. Adrian, thank you for your courage and your bravery to come here and share your story with us. Everybody jumped up, so I didn't get a chance to tell you that Adrian is not a seasoned public speaker and is not used to addressing a crowd this size. So. Who wants to hire a Holly now? I love my job. It's so deeply gratifying, and it's equally gratifying to be here to share it with you, and the chance that we can all work together and continue to give these amazing kids a hand up is just so exciting to me. So let me tell you how it's going to work. Okay. The Arbonne Foundation, as Angela mentioned, has supported over 155,000 teens all over the world, and I'm so proud of the work that's already been done in Australia, but now we are ready to scale this across the nation. The Smith family has offices in 94 communities across the country. These are operating to help the most disadvantaged kids in the most disadvantaged communities. With the initial grant that we received from the Arbonne Foundation, we have designed a workshop called Work Inspirations that is going to give these kids the confidence and the tools that they need to prepare themselves for the workforce. Our call to action is simple. When you continue to support the Arbonne Foundation, we will continue to apply for grants, and each grant will produce a workshop. The workshop may not be where you're living or where you're conducting business, but what I can promise you, it will be in the area of greatest need. And we will be producing video footage. I've spent quite a bit of time on the Arbonne Charitable Foundation site lately, and there's amazing footage from all over the world. And I can assure you we're going to be producing, with your help, very inspiring footage of the workshops that we're going to be organizing for kids right here in Australia. In closing, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present to you today, and I would like to thank the Arbonne Charitable Foundation for their vision and for their support. And last but not least, I want to thank Angela for her patience and her passion. Angela and I have been friends since our daughters started kindergarten over 15 years ago, and she quietly persisted for months, or maybe over a year, telling me how important it was that I joined her business. I'm not sure that either one of us really understood all the reasons why, but this is a huge part of my why. So I thank you, and I look forward to working with you.